Hello, first grade mathematicians. Today we will be beginning Module 13, which covers two-digit addition and subtraction. We will begin on page 387, which is Lesson 1, use a 100 chart to show two-digit addition and subtraction. After this video, you will be able to use a 100 chart to add or subtract two-digit numbers. Spark your learning. There are 36 birds in a tree. More birds come. Now there are 56 birds in the tree. How many birds come to the tree? Remember, there are 36 birds in a tree. More birds come. Now there are 56 birds in the tree. How many birds come to the tree? Draw to show how you can use the 100 chart to solve the problem. So the first thing that we're going to do is let's pick a color and let's go ahead and circle our number 36. That's how many birds we start with. We know that there are 56 birds in the tree now. So I'm going to use another color and I'm going to hop on down to 56. 1, 2. So I jumped down 2 groups of 10, which is the same as 20, to get 56. There are 36 birds in the tree. More come, and now there's 56. How many birds come to the tree? Since I jumped the 2 spaces, I know that 20 more birds come. 36 birds plus 20 more birds equals 56. What are 2 ways you can use a 100 chart to add numbers? We've learned that you can count on, or you can count by groups of 10. Let's take a look at page 388. Build your understanding. You will use a 100 chart to solve a problem. Letter A. There are 30 frogs in a pond. Some frogs hop away. There are 10 frogs left. How many frogs hop away? Draw to show how you can use the 100 chart to solve the problem. So let's get a color. I'll use green. We know we started with 30 frogs in the pond. It says some frogs hop away, so I know that I will be subtracting and that there's 10 frogs left. So we will hop 1, 2 to get to 10. And just like our last problem, we jumped 2 spaces, which equals 20. Remember, there are 30 frogs in a pond. Some frogs hop away. There are 10 frogs left. You used a 100 chart to find how many frogs hop away. Use the arrow to see a possible drawing. So they started at 30. They hopped 1, 2 to get to 10. So look again at the 100 chart you used. How many frogs hopped away? We had 1, 2 groups of 10, which is equal to 20. You start with 30 frogs. Then you move up 2 10s from 30 frogs to get to the 10 frogs that are left. So 2 10s or 20 frogs hop away. For this one, letter B at the bottom of page 388, we will use a hundreds chart again. Letter B. Haley sees 38 sheep in the barn. She sees more sheep in the field. She sees 78 sheep in all. How many sheep does she see in the field? Draw to show how you can use the 100 chart to solve the problem. Let's begin by circling my number 38. Here we go. She sees more sheep in the field. She sees 78 sheep in all. So we are adding. We started with 38 and we see that we have a bigger number. So we know that we are going to add. We also have the words, she sees more. When we see that word more, we know that we are going to add. So let's count until we get to 78. We'll jump 1, 2, 3, 4. We jumped 4 tens or 40 to get to 78. And we can see that they did the same thing too. They started at 38 and jumped 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to 78. So we know that she saw 40 more sheep. You start with 38 sheep that Haley sees in the barn. Then you move up 4 tens from 38 sheep to get to the 78 sheep that she sees in all. 4 tens is 40, so Haley sees 40 sheep in the field. Next, let's explain how we use the hundreds chart to solve the problem. The options that they give on the website are, I start at 38 and count by ones to 78. I counted up 4 ones or 4. Let's try that. If I start at 38 and I count up by ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would get 42. That's not correct because we know that she sees 78 in all. I start at 38 and count up by tens to 78. I counted up 4 tens or 40. Let's try that. We start at 38 and we counted up 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get 78. That one is correct. Let's take a look at the last one though. I start at 38 and count by tens to 78. I counted up 3 tens or 30. So I'll start at 38 and I'll count 3. 1, 2, 3. That would only give me 68. So I start at 38 and count by tens to 78. I counted up 4 tens or 40. This statement explains that when you move down the 100 chart, you add tens. So you add 4 tens to 38 to get to 78. So in your workbook, you will write, I start at 38 and count by tens to 78. I counted up 4 tens or 40. How can you use the 100 chart to subtract? If we go back and look at our hundreds chart that we just used, we moved down on the hundreds chart to add more. Remember, subtraction is the opposite of addition. So if I move down on a hundreds chart to add, I'm going to move up to subtract. If I'm adding by ones, I would move to the right and keep going. And if I were going to subtract, I would move to the left to move down the hundreds chart. All right, my friends, you will work on page 389 on your own. If you have any questions, please message me on Dojo or send me an email. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.